Wow, talk about ridiculous. I cannot believe how long it's been since I started making videos and started talking about people, and only have I now gotten around to talking about that guy with the glasses personality. And it's Marzgurl of all people. Marzgurl of all people. Like I guess in the past I talked about Spoonie, but that was mostly like modern Spoonie people who like I don't know. Like me, Marzgurl is not the first person that tends to come up when you talk about Channel Awesome. And why would it? Marzgurl is and always has been pretty irrelevant. She has never been one of the big personalities on Channel Awesome. She was just sort of there, just sort of present in the anniversary specials. I believe she was in all four of them. I guess we'll look at the Wikipedia, that guy with the glasses wiki, just to really, really drive that home and see, just see what's happening here. Hello. We This is going to be a learning experience for all of us because I think a lot of people don't really know anything about Marzgurl or even the kind of content she produces or has produced. She just sort of exists, right? She's just someone that goes to conventions and sort of just goes in there and does stuff, and it appears it appears that she has very social justicey leanings. Now, I'm not sure exactly how far those leanings extend, or just what exactly she is, what her history is. Because, like, again, when I think of social justice on Channel Awesome, I mostly think of people like Lindsay Ellis and who else on there? I guess the whole anti-Gamergate crowd, because I think this is kind of one of the stealth reasons I think that why that guy with the glasses blew up the way it did, like why it collapsed the way it did. It was that like Channel Awesome as a whole, like the core group there, like Mike Machad, the Walkers, and I guess Brad Jones to an extent, they did not want to make everything super political. They decided in 2014 with Gamergate to stay out of it. They did not release any formal statements. They did not attack any side. They just decided to be neutral, and that's commendable. Like I explicitly remember going on that guy with the glasses forums and talking a little bit about Gamergate because it was one of the very few places that I was frequenting at that time that was completely uncensored, and you were able to get away, with some discussion of it, like in the very early stages. Now, that wasn't always the case. Eventually, they started banning it because like so many people started backlashing. Like you know how SJWs are, right? They just throw a fit. And which incident do you mean? Like there are so many incidents. Okay, I haven't been to Channel Awesome since the incident, says Jabane, and I feel this. There are just so many incidents. Like that could mean anything. Like, do you mean the Gamergate thing? Like me, that was around the point I stopped going on. Like I stopped watching Todd in the Shadows and the Nostalgia Check because of Gamergate, specifically because of just how they handled that and just the disgusting way in which Todd in the Shadows tried to weaponize Jew Wario's suicide to make a point about Gamergate. Like I don't know. Like even now that we know that like Jew Wario was apparently like some child grooming pedophile or something. Not a pedophile, like a grooming his fans for sex. Like even after that revelation, I still kind of find that really disgusting. Because again, like the guy was suicidal, and I just the one with the document, the one oh that's pretty yeah. You became aware of that, yeah. I became aware of those kind of issues, the issues that were revealed in that guy with the glasses document, like the change the channel document back around that time, back in 2014. This has been known. The problems with this website have been known since I believe since Kickassia. I've heard rumors and like whisperings about it. Like, of course, people didn't like the movie. That's always been an issue. That was always kind of an issue. But like again. amateurs. It just we knew these guys were not expert filmmakers or anything like that. That was kind of what was made them fun. Like I will always defend Doug Walker's like amateurness because that's kind of the appeal, right? Like he's just some guy with a webcam talking about stupid bullshit. And yet, I don't know. Like it took a lot for me to I don't know, like to go against to really start criticizing that guy with glasses. Like again, there was it took like all this, their weird criticisms of other YouTubers, the way they treat each other, like the content, the quality of their videos in general. Uh, I think the first personality I was personally really critical of was Spoonie, and that was mostly because like his fans, you know what I'm like, right? When somebody says someone is like the best at what they do, I tend to be like really, really critical of that, and I think that's why I always had a distaste for Spoonie in particular, even though like in spite of all of his problems, I think he's pretty clearly one of the normal ones. I don't know, like uh, if it wasn't for like his severe health problems, I think he would be relatively normal. I don't know. Uh, Spoonie got in a car accident. Yes, I did hear that. Um, I'm not really sure with it, I haven't been following him lately. I know like he's in financial problem. He's having financial problems, and like I know he's not making content anymore, and I know he has like I don't know, even his fans are getting sick of his shit. I don't know. Like it's just so hard for me to make fun of him now when he's not like regularly making content. Like it's not like this whole Marzgurl thing where we are talking about someone who still apparently makes content. Now, I say apparently because I had a look at Marzgurl's YouTube channel, you know, um, around the time this whole Kick Vic thing took off, and I was just amazed at just how irrelevant she is YouTube wise. Like, I am not exaggerating here. Like, we are talking about someone who has like 18,000 subscribers on YouTube. I am not fucking like 18,000 subscribers. This supposedly important social media person, right? Marzgurl, Channel Awesome, like 17,000. Like, I know gaming YouTubers that have more. Like, I know Nintendo centric YouTubers that have more than us. Like, how much does a BitBlock have in comparison? Like, I think even the BitBlock has more than that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The BitBlock has like 180,000, and like we all know how irrelevant that guy is. Like Darkside Phil has like what, 20,000, 200,000, I think. Darkside Phil, yeah, around that point, 100. Like these are people that we know have like severely are having severe problems, right? And like severe problems getting views, maintaining viewership, getting people to like care about their content, getting people to like respect and appreciate their opinions and stuff like that. Marzgurl is a tenth as relevant as those people. She is a tenth of Darkside Phil and Josh Thomas. That's just I would say DSP. Okay, I strongly disagree with. Okay, DSP is not unpopular because he sucks at games, right? Like he's unpopular because of his attitude, how he treats his fans, and just his personality in general is just downright reprehensible, right? He's gotten a lot worse with time because, like, back in the day, I can kind of see why people liked him because, like, he seemed like some relatable, normal guy who just like played video games on cam for fun, and it just suddenly devolved into this thing where like he's like begging for money constantly. I remember back in the day when he was first starting making a living on YouTube, where he was downright really critical of people who would take donations and like take Patreon and eBay and stuff like that. Like that was like the meme back then, right? Like DSP was actually more based than the vast majority of gaming YouTubers, but like he sort of did the Patreon thing because he had to. He needed more money to keep what he was doing. I don't know. That's sort of understandable, but like he had to be such an asshole about it. Uh, like again, it went from like being bad at games and not being a really good YouTube, like having terrible quality videos, to just being this weird sort of rabbit hole where like his life is just going insanely downhill. I don't know anyone who would like envy DSP's position, right? Like stuck in that house all day with his like, obese horse face girlfriend. Um, a gold digging girlfriend, I should say. I'm not shitting on Kat because like she's ugly or anything. Like I'm shitting on her because I'm pretty. From what I understand, she's like a terrible person. From what I understand, uh, again, I have been following. I haven't been able to follow everything going on with the DSP show since like the Sons of Kojima went under. So I'm not super. Yeah. I could sort of shit on Minecraft. Came back to it. Like I can sort of see that happening. Like again, it's been like a downward spiral towards him. Like I don't know how he's going how he's going to go into his 40s, right, and continue doing this, right? Like I don't know. Like even people who are like way more competent, right? Like Maximilian Dude, like they kind of have issues continue doing this like well into their 40s, like I don't know, I'm seeing Cinemassacre start to burn out. I'm seeing all this stuff. I don't know. Career YouTubing is like, man, that has to be the worst. I cannot imagine doing that. I just so terrible. Okay, so Marzgurl, he bans people for telling him to get a job. Yeah, I don't know. Why doesn't he get a job? Like, why doesn't he just he had so many opportunities, right? Like he could have the instant he started losing money, he really should have considered going back into the workforce and just streaming 4 hours a day when he got back, right? Like from work, right? That would be like super easy for him. He would be able to set a schedule. He would still probably make a ton of money doing that. Like he would be better off if he just seriously committed, like tried to figure this out instead of just whining about YouTube and whining about like how his job isn't paying him enough. Like uh, again, I just don't get it. It's the worst. um so yeah, we were talking about Marzgurl and specifically Kalen Dixian, assuming that's right. This is a wiki, so the black guy with the glasses wiki, I'm not sure, is known everywhere online as Marzgurl, a name given to herself to use in forums and chat rooms. Gee, this is a kind of I'm sure I couldn't have figured that out on my own. Thanks, wiki. The name is used to represent both the fandom of Marvin, her fandom of Marvin the Martian, and her gender. What the fuck? Okay. Okay. Yeah. DSP, I get it. Like DSP is the worst. Yeah, the tax thing. I just don't know what to make it. Like he's always going on about how he needs to pay his taxes. Like it's been an entire year, right? You should have been able to get all that sorted pretty quickly, right? Like I can understand having like issues that might last like a year or so. It should not have taken this long, right? Like this has been a problem since like 2017, right? Did Leanna leave him before or after the whole tax thing? I'm pretty sure it was after, right? Because Kat had not moved in yet. I think so. I think that's what happened. Yeah. So yeah, the tax thing has been a problem for a while now. But like, he should. He's not budgeting, right? Like you hear him say. I haven't been following him like extensively. I know this is supposed to be a Marzgurl stream, but DSP is like always fun to talk about. Like I see him always on stream bitching about his taxes and bitching about how he doesn't have money. But like then he goes ahead and like lets it slip that like, oh, he pays his bills by using credit cards. So he's acquiring more debt to pay off his debt. Like it's stuff like that, right? And then like he does stuff like refer to his credit cards as being like free money when that's not how it fucking works. Like come on, just shit. So fucking pathetic. Like shit. He's so irresponsible. He is the worst at that. Like this should not. He should have been like putting all of his money, all of his spare money into getting this tax thing figured out, like getting on a plan. Right? Like, is that why he doesn't want to be on a plan? Because like they're actually going to make him pay it. Like, is that it? Is he just trying to like pay the bare minimum until it like goes away? I don't know. Like the other thing that gets me is like having two houses. Like this motherfucker is strapped for cash, right? He has absolutely no money to spend, and yet somehow he like owns two homes. Like what? What? That's the worst. I hate that. Okay. Okay, so back to Marzgurl. Before that guy with the glasses, a fan of video games and animation, Marzgurl finally became a self-proclaimed anime fan in 2004 and began attending anime conventions in the state of Texas. With the help of Sean Chiaffa in mid-2004, the first Marzgurl Productions video from A-Con in Dallas, Texas was shot and produced. Oh, so she went to cons before she became a video producer. That's kind of interesting. So she has more of a history with cons than she does with the video productions. It was the dream of Chiaffa and Marzgurl to make documentary-style convention videos, although the projects did not quite end up going in that direction. By early 2006, Sean Chiaffa had disappeared, leaving Marzgurl to produce videos on her own. She continues to search for Chiaffa to this day. So wait, she had this guy. Wait, what? Okay, like, wait, there has to be more to that. Like, what? He disappeared, like vanished, like into thin air, like he was kidnapped or something, and she's like searching for what? What is this wiki? It's just weird, bizarre. Okay, Marzgurl, as part of Marzgurl's productions, has attended more than 20 hold conventions in the United States and Japan, and has filmed these events and documented them, showing the fans exactly what sort of entertainment they have missed or might want to see again. Her videos are posted on Marzgurl Productions and her let's look at Marzgurl's production real quick. And she continues to add to them every few months. Oh, okay. The site's gone. Okay. So she doesn't even have a functional website. Marzgurl's Productions is down. It does not exist. Let's see. Let's make sure this is the same YouTube channel. Oops. Yeah, Sam one. Yep. 18,000 subscribers. That's ridiculous, right? Okay, so the website is down probably because nobody goes to it. More expensive than it took to maintain it, probably. And our YouTube channel isn't doing well either. So we're talking about a completely irrelevant YouTube personality, right? Completely irrelevant. Like her one claim to fame is that she was associated with Doug Walker at some point in time. There are just so many like channel awesome producers that no one cares about, right? Like I don't know, like Marzgurl's one. I don't know what like all the power ranking levels are, but like here's the thing about Marzgurl. Marzgurl was never even brought up in Mr. Medicare's That Guy with the Glasses retrospective series, right? Like he mostly focused on like the big names that people actually remember and talk about, right? Like Doug, Linkara, Brad Jones. It took him a while to get to Lindsay. Shit. Well, Lindsay again is probably comparatively normal compared to everyone else. That's just my own personal bias talking, but anyway. Let's see here. Okay, on That Guy with the Glasses, we'll see just what they have to talk about here. Marzgurl submitted an entry to That Guy with the Glasses to become the nostalgia chick, using the 1982 animated movie The Last Unicorn as her source of material in mid-2008. Want to bring that up? Yeah, let's see. Marzgurl, The Last Unicorn. Lindsay, I've seen like Lindsay Ellis's submission video before. Like she looks stupidly young in that. Like she was young even back when like I discovered her. Right, she was already like older at that point. Let's see. So nostalgia. I think like Marzgurl. Yeah. This is like her big claim to fame, right? Her nostalgia check entry video, 70K views 10 years ago. Right. So she's always had the YouTube channel. She's always been posting there as well. It seems that way. All right. So Let's take a look at this. 17 minutes long. We'll have to see.
Hi, I'm the nostalgia chick. I remember it because the nostalgia critic doesn't want to.
Yeah. So that is Marzgurl. Uh, like this is the nostalgia chick entry contest, so she is submitting for the nostalgia chick position. She didn't become Marzgurl until after she lost.
You know,
I can already tell why Lindsay won. By the way, she's actually like charismatic and actually, has way better presentation. Not to mention she was way cuter.
when you were a kid, lots of TV shows, movies, and toys all seemed so cool at the time. If you were anything like me, you got up every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. and sat there for 5 hours taking in cartoons. When you heard about one of your favorite Saturday morning cartoon shows getting its own movie, you begged your parents to drive you down to the theater. And when the Burger King Kids Club released a crappy line of toys made in China about the movie based on the cartoon, you begged your parents to buy you enough Kids Club meals to collect the whole set. Back then, it was pretty super cool, right?
Sure, whatever.
Yeah, well, you're looking at the world with rose-tinted nostalgia. The cartoon logic doesn't work now that you've grown. The movies are just commercials that last an hour and a half. And the kids' meal toys at fast food restaurants fall apart and don't do what they promised. That being said, I wanted to bring up an animated movie from my childhood that I adored at the time, and to be fair, it isn't exactly a horrible movie, but it definitely has those moments.
Yeah, she's kind of awkward. She's kind of like I don't know. That wall looks like the exact same wall that's behind like Doug Walker. Did she film this in like his house or something? It's just kind of bizarre. Okay.
Where you look back and say, what?
Well, this is technically a fan-made video. I guess I should mock her because, like, again, she was like a nostalgia critic fan, and she's trying to like specifically be the female nostalgia critic, the nostalgia chick.
I question it when I watched it the first time. So, for a taste of something truly chick-like and truly nostalgic, I present to you The Last Unicorn. The Last Unicorn was an animated title released in 1982 that was based on a novel written by Peter S. Beagle and was a very interesting creation because it was a combined effort between Japanese and American developers. And if you know what you're looking
developers for a fucking movie, that's a weird way to put. Okay.
For, this fact becomes pretty obvious. The cast has a few big names in it, including Alan Arkin, Jeff Bridges, Mia Farrow, and Angela Lansbury. We start in a gorgeous forest where two unimportant hunters wander around and determine that the only reason why the forest is so green.
Yeah, like I expected, it's boring. It doesn't seem to be all that informative. It's not like particularly funny, and I don't know. Like I can see why nobody cares about this chick.
Because there is a unicorn somewhere in this forest, and that she must be the last one in all existence. If that's the case, and she's the only reason why the forest is so green, the rest of the world must look pretty crappy by now. This sets the stage for the movie right off the bat and leads us into the intro with a rousing musical piece.
Yeah. So yeah, boring, not all that interesting. Just general. Just like that guy with the glasses video, I would say, like the main problem, right? It's just the problem that this site eventually had was that like it seemed to evolve as like to an actual review, from an actual review to like just giving a synopsis of the plot, right? Just explaining what happens in this movie and just I don't know, like explaining all this stuff that anybody who just watched the movie could tell. Like it's just boring and it's the same problem with Nostalgia Critic, really. But it's somehow worse here because like I think Doug, has some idea on how to make it interesting. Like there's a reason he stayed relevant for so long. Like again, he's not perfect either, but I don't know, better than fucking Marzgurl, I can tell you that. The chicks. I believe the actual Nostalgia Chicks entry video was way better from what I remember. Not surprised she won. Definitely the right pick there. Top 5. And finally was narrowed down to one of the top 3. Who were the others? Like shit. That video was not the best. Okay. She was eventually notified by admin that while she was not Notified by admin. That's exactly what it says. That while she was not the one chosen to be the ultimate nostalgia chick, she was still chosen to contribute to the website. She created an announcement video together with the dudette, that chick with the goggles, and that guy with the glasses. Okay. Marzgurl has chosen to make her videos mostly skit-based. Okay, great. With other review critic-style videos on the side. She is apologetic that the volume of her videos is not as large as the other contributors, but hopes to pick up the pace within the last 2 months of 2008. On November 22nd, 2008, Marzgurl released the first part of a new video titled Animation, a Children's Medium, in which she argues that animation is not necessarily is not a necessarily child aim medium. I remember like the Down the Rabbit Hole guy talked about that during the reading of the document, where she bitched about it, about how like Mike Machad went behind her back or something to upload that video without her permission or whatever. She'd also appeared in the video tribute to Sue and had a cameo in the Atop the Fourth Wall video where Lucaria looked at Uncanny X-Men 424. On March 15, 2009, Kaylin started a new show called What's That Anime, where she takes a look at several anime people may or may not have heard of. What's That Anime has since been all but abandoned, especially replaced with translation terrors, adaptation terrors, a series that analyzes the differences between the Japanese and American versions of intellectual properties from animated video games. That might be interesting. Maybe giving her too much praise here. I'm seeing I'm seeing a trend here. Like she does projects, she starts new series and then like abandons them within like a couple of entries. Like she had a podcast that she made like four episodes of and then abandoned. She had like, she tried to make music acapellas. I just I don't see how this, other than like her association with that guy with the glasses, there's nothing interesting about her. Like she just vlogs a lot about like, stuff like Final Fantasy, Kamen Rider. Marzgurl tries Monster Hunter beef jerky. That's the kind of quality content you're getting here. Marzgurl tries beef jerky. Seeing Sentai. Real life information. Oh dear. Date of birth, January 27th, 1986. 1986. She would have been like 20. So 2004. So she was a teenager when she. When she started the whole Marzgurl's production thing. That's kind of interesting. Majoring in mass communications, minoring in Japanese, studied the Japanese language in Tokyo. She's fluent in Japanese, as I recall. I believe she's the one who dresses in Suburban Nights, who dresses up like a San from Princess Mononoke and does, actually speaks Japanese. Oh, okay. She edited her own page. Okay. I don't know. Like, should I read this? It goes into personal information. I'm not really sure if I could. I can tell you she's terrible at this. Why did she not just remove it if it's sensitive information? Like, okay, so basically, okay, recap. Someone posted some real life information which was apparently incorrect, and she went on there to bitch about it, like with an entire paragraph. As I am, in fact, Kaylin, Marzgurl, Dixie, and myself editing what had just been edited, I would know best what happened in those months. And then, like, she goes on to explain why that's wrong. Why did you just not remove it? Like, I don't understand. Like, it's just so ridiculous. That's something like Chris Chan would do. Like Chris Chan did with like the Encyclopedia Dramatica page. That's so bizarre. Man, yeah, what a boring. Okay, what a boring personality. Going by what we're seeing here, I guess we could look at the Twitter account. That's probably more interesting. That's probably where the bulk of her following actually is. Come to think of it. Marzgurl is so deluded. Nick Rekieta. Yeah, I guarantee you, Nick Rekieta at this point in time has had a bigger following than Marzgurl has had in her entire career. Like, I just cannot. I just cannot see it be happening otherwise. Okay, Kaylin Sakedo. Yeah, talk about like a really photoshopped image. I know she like that photo, her Twitter photo looks better than the one than she looked in that actual nostalgia chick video. So obviously photoshopped. Okay, Long Beach, California. An opinion more mine, not my employer's. What employer? YouTuber, streamer, TV, closed captions. What? I guess I'll look at her IMDb page. Yeah. So she has roughly the same amount of followers on Twitter as she does on YouTube, like 17,000, uh, which I guess is impressive for Twitter. That's a lot more followers than I have, but again, like I don't. Is that how many SJWs there are? Like 20,000? That seems like a very specific number. I don't know. Let's see. I'm so tired. Yeah. She's just bitching about Vic. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. Yeah, just a lot of boring stuff, like bitching about Vic, tweeting about how terrible people who criticize her role in this is. Um, yeah, just a bunch of boring stuff. Just man. Let's see. Laura's girl on Twitter. So sorry you should have to deal with these assholes. As soon as it's all over, the better. Yeah. I don't think this is gonna end. Like, I'm gonna be completely bluntly honest with you. I think this is going to like follow her for the rest of her like online persona, because like this is the most relevant she's ever been when you get right down to it. Like, this is what is going people are going to remember her for, like accusing Vic McNania of being a fucking sexual harassment, a serial sexual harasser, right? And that's just it's looking more and more like she made that up. Like going by how Nick Rekieta is going about this, the beard, everything that's been happening. It just feels like the whole allegation is just not going to hold water, and I think it's going to lead to more and more people becoming hostile to the SJWs. Like Vic's fan base, like his core fans are like what, like 14-year-old girls. I don't know what the whole deal with that is, but yeah, yeah, you're making a bunch of 14-year-old girls your primary demographic hate you. So I don't really know what's how that's gonna pan out for you, but yeah, yeah. Different opinions. Marzgurl is fake news. It feels like most people are calling her out. Like she has that circle jerk of like reset era people, but I don't know. Like outside of that, what does the anime community at large think of this? Like I guess the voice actors are all banding together to try to get rid of Vic, but I don't know. Some people are sticking up to him, like the Devil May Cry guy did. Uh, I don't know, man. Like these people can threaten to boycott anyone who defends Vic all they want, but it's not going to like do anything. It's not going to get them to change their mind. It's just like really exposing you. People did say they were going to boycott Devil May Cry 5 because the voice actor for Dante defended Vic for some reason, apparently. So gotta boycott Devil May Cry 5. Just so fucking ridiculous. Dominique Sky, Red Famous, and Marzgurl are literally in a group that doxes people. Is that confirmed? Is Marzgurl has Marzgurl actually been doxed? Oh, okay, what doxing? Okay, what does Marzgurl say? That's the IMDb page. Wait. Yeah, primarily known as her work in channel awesome photography. Yeah. Okay, if you type Marzgurl into Google, the first thing that comes up is her Twitter account, then her YouTube page, and then her TV tropes page, and then her Instagram, and then the wiki we looked at, the Patreon. What's her Patreon like? She has a Twitch page. Was Marzgurl the one who made that? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. She made a video talking about change the channel. I did watch that. That's the only video of hers I've seen in which she talked about it. The alias is a reference to yeah. Her TV trope page says the same thing as the fucking wiki page. It's the same people making both, right? Wow. Okay. So these people must have very small fan bases if you notice stuff like that. Video reviews. Yeah. $164 per video. It's not per month, per video. She only has 54 patrons. Like, does Spoonie have more than that? Okay, let's look. Compare. Let's just compare. Because Spoonie's always goes down. You know what? Antweiler City. Yeah, $127 patrons, $466 a month. Okay, so assuming that Marzgurl makes one video a month, Spoonie is making more than her. Spoonie makes more than her by doing absolutely nothing. What? Wow. Okay, that's just ridiculous. Hang on. How often does she upload? 4 days ago. Yep. Okay, so about 4 episodes a month. About that much. Yeah. Okay, about that much. So I guess if it really does charge per video, she's technically making more, but I'm not sure if that's legitimate or not. That's just again, Spoonie has more patrons, so that's another thing. And he, like, at one point, Spoonie was making like $5,000 a month. How do you fuck that up? Like, you set up a Patreon, you do all this stuff, you have so many people willing to support you, and you just completely ruin it. Like, because you're just that arrogant. I don't get it. It's so bizarre. It's just so bizarre to me. I want to see the live reactions to Channel Awesomes. Yeah, let's see some other videos here before we sign off for the day. Let's see, Cake Vic moving Marzgurl. Oh, she did talk with Extra Mana. Okay, yeah, because I don't know. Yeah, I can't imagine Extra Mana being a. What has Extra Mana been doing? Like, he was doing all of this stuff around the time that the document dropped, and then like he disappeared. Why I left channel Dina's vlog. Why I left Channel Awesome from Cyborg Cat. That has 127,000 views. I swear the biggest, most popular videos that these people make is when they talk about why they left Channel Awesome. That's all anybody seems to care about when it comes to them. Oh, she's playing WoW on stream.
It's pinned to their Twitter. Okay. Now this should this should be good. Hold on a second here, guys. Hold on a second here.
I swear she has a deeper voice than I do.
Because things are loading a little bit slowly because I'm streaming at the same time.
So what? You have terrible internet?
It's total BS. All right, I'm about to find out. Here we go.
Oh, okay. So for context, she's looking at the Channel Awesome response, the change the channel document. So we'll see what she pulls here.
Okay, here we go. Let's have a live reading of this thing right now. I'm gonna get some water down here.
I could use some water too.
We wanted to take a moment to clear the air and acknowledge some of the recent public concerns raised by content creators previously associated with Channel Awesome. Channel Awesome is an organization that respects our producer. I'm sorry, was that too soon? Oh, excuse me.
I don't know though. Like on one hand, Channel Awesome did do a lot of terrible stuff to all these different people, but like again, like who are you? Like you're not like some valuable contributor. Like I don't know. That's just my opinion on that.
Channel Awesome is an organization that respects our producer partners and strives to agree.
Because like here's the thing with when it comes to the whole Channel Awesome thing, right? Like it feels like the new people they brought on, you know, like the people who work like with like Doug and stuff like that, like you know, those people, like they seem a lot more normal than like the OG cast, you know, of like independent producers. And like Doug pays them directly and seems to like treat them much better, and they seem to have like a much better relationship. Like that's just my opinion, but
The best possible environment for everyone. We welcome a diverse community of people joining together to create great videos. For the people who have spoken out about past instances they deemed hurtful or unprofessional, we sincerely regret you felt that way. Oh shit, son. They did that. Do you know what that is? Like, I need to stop right here.
yeah, the down the rabbit hole video was like so funny in that regard. When he read that and he just burst out laughing. Okay, the Ballad of Mike Rashad and Channel Awesome. Let's see.
You say the price of exposure just isn't enough to get paid. You cry.
Yeah, whatever. I don't care.
Hi there, everyone. Marzgurl here. I was really sitting and thinking about whether or not I needed to do a video on this topic. I discussed this with a small handful of people. One person said,
this is kind of boring. Like just like again, I can see why Jim didn't cover her. She's just not all that interesting. She's just some generic YouTube personality, right? Who just kicked off this thing. Like again, I think it's kind of at this point, she wasn't the person who kicked off Kickvic. She's not even that relevant. She just like created the hashtag. And then I think you know, Chris Sabat and Monica Rial and those people at Funimation like weaponized that to get the fans to demand that Vic be removed. And that's the thing that gets me. Like, I do think, you know, the conspiracy aspect, like, it's uncovering shit at Funimation. It's uncovering shit with Monica Rial and especially Sabat and everything that goes on there, right? But it's not really going into detail about Marzgurl. And I think there's a reason why for that. Like, she is, simply put, like, a non-entity. Like she is just an NPC who just, you know, created this hashtag and just happened to have, you know, a following large enough, you know, no matter how small it is in the grand scheme of things, to get things going and get all of these other more relevant people involved and to like finally, you know, I imagine they've been trying to do this for years. They were just trying to do it in a way that would not be seen as that would not have this kind of backlash, right? They thought that if they had enough public outcry to do it, right, to get rid of Vic, that they could do it, that they could do it. Like they could go out and make this happen. And yet it had like they played their hands so harshly that people, you know, came out against them because for it. Like they came out and criticized them because of it, and it's led to this situation where they're not really sure what to do, right? Because they honestly thought they could get away with it. I don't really definitely want to see some drama videos surrounding Marzgurl.
So it's been an eventful couple of days with this whole Vic Maggiana stuff. I've covered it, found some stuff like this. This is my previous video about Vic, where I talked about the allegations against him and how some stuff has come out against, like how these Facebook groups, these private Facebook groups are like trying to manufacture stuff on him. We've had some leaks. I'm sure more are coming. But in this group,
What was this video?
the whole group's purpose, it seems, was to try to make him look bad. They talk.
Yeah. So this was a month ago, and this is something that like I've heard. I don't really know a whole lot about. Like apparently, people were photoshopping photos of him, like molesting girls or something like that, for evidence.
Photoshopping pictures, and we had anime.
So yeah, this is like a coordinated like a thing among like the anime community. Like we have like Anime News Network involved in this. We have like the voice actors. We have all these like people.
Work, right? Attack Clownfish TV. They tagged them in their video.
Like the way Marzgurl fits into this is that like she is an NPC, right? She just does whatever she's supposed to do, right? Like she goes out and she flags video. She's meant to be part of the brigade, the group of people who dogpile anyone who comes out and tries to criticize what's happening with Vic and what her involvement in it and like just everything that's going on. How dare you question this? Like Vic Mignogna is a sexual serial harasser because we say he is.
We call them extremists when they're like super liberal, right? This is going with the narrative of trying, to destroy people that go against you, right? And it's now happening to me. So I get tagged by something from old Marzgurl here, who I guess was a part of Channel Awesome. I, never really watched them. I watched a couple Medicare videos on them. I didn't recognize her. But of course, if you say something that these people don't like, they try to deplatform you. So I got tagged in this with screenshots.
Yeah, deplatforming is a thing. Like they try to abuse these copyright things. They flag videos. Like this is the thing I've noticed when it comes to like my content in particular is that like whenever I get on someone's nerves, they always tend to always know exactly what I've said and done in the past that can be used to delegitimize me. Like you see me being referred to as Nintendo fanboy. You see people, go after me for being, believing certain things and disliking certain people. Like that's just how it goes, right?
This person
Very typical.
Talking about basically Kick Vic, and her whole timeline, by the way, is nothing but Kick Vic. And this was what she said. That having been said, and I've never said this, but I would strongly suggest flagging this particular video for spreading misinformation about a fake Facebook account created to delegitimize a legitimate concern. Only if you agree, of course. Right. Only if you agree. And you've never done this. We should believe you, right?
Yeah, I'm sure she's never done it.
Wario guy who has some pretty serious allegations against him, and I believe that that guy got in a lot of trouble, right? How did Channel also?
Oh yeah. Well, Marzgurl claimed she didn't know about Jew Wario being, a sexual harasser. So I don't know. Like I'm willing to give her the benefit of the doubt on that one. I don't know. It's just kind of interesting that like, she would like rally behind against Vic and then, not, like if this is
went down, huh?
Like we know Justin was probably not very subtle with how he groomed people. So I don't know.
But, we're going to now try to go back to doing some more really appropriate behavior. How do you think this makes #KickVic look, Marzgurl? This shows that you and Anime Network are cruising around looking for anybody that has a different opinion, and you're doing whatever it takes to take them out, just like you're doing to Vic.
Hi, everyone.
Right? If you can show me legitimate evidence, show it to me. You also don't even show legitimate evidence that that's a fake Facebook account. They're openly talking.
Yeah. They always do that. They always just, damage control, move the goalposts, stuff like that. I'm not surprised to hear that at all. Let's see. Want to look at the Reset Era page? Because that's always a laugh. The Reset Era page. Yeah, she posts on Reset Era, and it's one of her. That's actually where I've seen most of the stuff. Hang on, where's the search bar? I'll have to Google it. I'm too lazy to look for it. Okay, Vic. Want to read about how Nick McNania is the biggest racist in the world? Let's see. What is she? Wait. So they're going after Boogie 2988 for fence sitting? Really? Like, I know a lot of people hate him for that. Like, I do too, but like, I don't know, man. That's just very distasteful. Fear the beard. Yeah, they're bitching about Twitter not banning people for supporting Vic. It's just, oh, hello there. Nice to meet you. I'm just going over this reset era thread here. um, yeah. Blackface lawyer. This is a great example of what I'm talking about. Okay, so Nick Rekieta to these people is the blackface lawyer because like they desperately want to find something to use against him. Like they desperately they look up everything that he's ever done. They try to find something they can weaponize against him, and then they just like repeat it like ad nauseum, trying to find some method of delegitimizing him. You know, like to try to make him out to be like a fake lawyer. You know, that's a term that's been thrown around a lot. Like someone who doesn't know what he's talking about, someone who like clearly does not understand how much of a racist, misogynist, homophobic shitbag that Vic Mignogna is. Just unbelievable. Apparently, Blackface Lawyer is doing a 24-hour live stream tomorrow. I'm honestly wondering if the legal team doesn't have shit and all this is going to dry up after KamehamehaCon. This 24-hour live stream screens last-ditch effort to try and milk as much money as possible out of people before they start catching on. What? Nick Rekieta is not on the legal team. I don't understand why they can't figure this out. Man, just man, I just I just hate that so much. Okay. Over 20 people have this in their let's see. Yeah. Oh no. It's sad. Just the fact that the fandom I saw 20 years ago that welcomed all kinds of weirdos is dissolving. Okay, here's the thing about I don't I don't know. Here's the thing about like these kind of weirdos, right? These kind of people who don't really it's like weirdos don't really expect, like they have this mindset that like normies have to accept them, right? They have to be welcomed everywhere. They have to be like treated like they're really special, right? And if they don't get that, they get really really angry. That's my view on that. Like again, you see this kind of mindset expressed in so many different ways, from like trans people who are upset when people call them by like the wrong pronouns and stuff like that, you know. Well, yeah, the fact that so many of you are calling us liars and denying our experiences is a painful form of gaslighting. You shout trite talking points, not knowing what happened, and insist the people who were there didn't experience anything. Even 20 years ago, I have never seen the sheer misogyny expressed as of late. That the simple act of speaking up against a low grade celebrity's actual behavior would invite sheer hatred is alarming. Here's the thing about this. Here's the thing about this. When you cannot seriously expect everyone to believe that every single celebrity that's ever been accused of sexual harassment like deserves to be like institutionalized, arrested, put in prison simply because there were people who say that. Like like we're starting to realize this with the whole Michael Jackson thing, right? Where people there is money when it comes to going after these people in this way. There is money for people to accuse. There is money in doing that, right? There is motive there. There is reason to be skeptical of this kind of behavior. And like as time goes on, it's becoming more and more apparent. Like people are getting more and more ballsy. They're able to get away with more and more shit. They're able to like make more and more insane accusations. Like, oh, I was raped 20 years ago. We can't have that guy on the Supreme Court. Like stuff like that, right? Like stuff like that. It's just so ridiculous, right? And this is just another example of that. It's getting dark. Excuse me. Yeah. I just I don't know. I think what's changing is that people are starting to realize that like no matter how much respect you give these people, they're always going to like try and pretend that you're like a bigot, that you're like holding them back, and that like you're not helping them achieve what they need to like thrive in this society, like this extremely bigoted society, like that. Like any small slight against them is like an assault on their like identity, basically. That's like they just try and use everything they can to try and like accuse someone of being hateful towards them. And that's to me is why people are starting to get sick of it. Like I I just cannot take most rape allegations seriously, because you start to see the patterns. You start to see just how ridiculous it is that people will wait like 20 years. The idea of waiting 20 years and then like trying to say like, oh, I was raped by this, like no, that's just ridiculous. You can't do that. Vic stands? What? They come up with the stupidest fucking nicknames. Like I hate this. Vic stands? What the fuck does that mean? So okay, Vic's. What are these people? 12? I saw this with Gamergate. Like I have not seen this since Gamergate. Like They called people who supported Gamergate gators, as in like alligators. Like, what? That's like the most ridiculous thing I've heard. Like, that's not. What's a Vic stance? I'm just. Yeah. I'm curious. Okay. I'm curious what the actual point of that is. That makes no sense to me. Uh, oh yeah, Team Four Star. Okay, this is my big criticism of of Vic Kicks back at the moment. This blind worship of Team Four Star. Like Team Four Star are probably on Vic's side. No, they fucking aren't. I can guarantee you they aren't. I don't know why they're staying out of it. I don't care. Team Four Star are hacks. Like they suck. Okay, don't try to say like I don't understand why so many people are adamant that like the Team Four Star dub is better than the actual Funimation. It isn't. Okay, like at the absolute best, it copies what like Funimation has already did. Like that's not good. That's not interesting. Fuck Team Four Star. I mean, yeah, calling Vic delusional. Yeah, I don't know anything about Hellsing, so I can't really give an opinion on that. Um, I don't know. I don't like their sense of humor. I don't like the way they do things. I don't like the personalities. I don't think they're funny. It's just not my thing. Like, just watch the original. I don't understand the appeal. I don't know, man. Like I am 100% like in agreement with Nick Rekieta here. When it comes to this whole like con thing and this whole resetter, the whole kick Vic thing in general, like they have completely lost steam. Like they got Vic fired, they accomplished their goal, but in doing so, they kind of exposed themselves as being this like really scummy people that just downright despicable. Um, yeah, I want to see the Nick Rekieta rant. That's always fun. That's always funny. Nick Rekieta rant. There are so many where he's just like he just straight up just yeah 50,000 subscribers. He already has like more than twice as many subscribers as Marzgurl. Just man, he like what live streams every night. Like I would love to go on there and talk to him, but unfortunately, I'm not sure. Like he doesn't stream during the weekends. I think like maybe if he does tonight, I could go on there and chat a bit. But yeah, yeah. Okay, so let's talk about Rekieta Law for a second. Let's talk about what's different now. Like I think I talked about this in my video, talking about Vic, but there's a major difference between this situation and the Vic Mignogna, this situation and Gamergate, right? This situation, the Vic Mignogna situation, it involves real celebrities, real companies, a real conspiracy, and real lawyers. There are actual, there were actual clear criminal offenses at play here. And Ty Beard, the Beard, his Amazon Brigade, and Nick Rekieta have gone into great depth, like explaining all of that, explaining all the technicalities of Texas law and everything they've been doing, and everything along those lines. Gamergate in comparison was very low key. It was very niche. It was like scummy. It was shady, but it was not outright illegal. Like taking money for a con, and then like not actually doing what you said. Like that's not illegal, right? That's just kind of shitty. Stealing someone's. What the fuck did Zoe Quinn do? Man, it's been so long that I thought about this. I don't even remember, right? Yeah. She fucked the 5 guys, like get promotion for her game. And I don't know, there's nothing illegal about that. Like it's stupid and it's shitty and like it really kind of like she's the thing. Like she was treated like some game design guru and like she doesn't know shit. You know that you know how that is, right? And like it was just kind of this really shitty situation. Like people were fed up with game journalism at the time. It sort of blew up into this thing, but like nothing involved with Gamergate was downright illegal. It was getting to that point. It was getting to that point where we are now, but it was not illegal. Like this is illegal. Like this situation. Like what's happening now. Like it has escalated to the point where these people have like have made it standard for their practice, for their like, for their communities to like dox people who disagree with them, to go after people, to go after specific individuals, to put specific ideas out there, to try and go after anyone who doesn't agree with them. And it's getting to the point where they're wanting to ban people, they're wanting to like take away people's rights to free speech. You're seeing like all these Twitter users who spend all day on the platform, like blocking people and reporting people and faking swattings and things like that. But there have been so many shady things from so many shady people, right? When it comes to this situation, like for the simple, seemingly for the simple goal of getting this guy fired. It's just so ridiculous. And like making sure that everybody knows what a terrible person he is, supposedly. It's just so ridiculous. I hate it so much. And again, like we saw this with Gamergate too, right? We saw this with the whole gamers are dead thing. We saw this with the whole abusing the media thing. We saw this with like the whole JonTron thing and everything that's come off with that, and just like coming along, everyone going after all these different sides, it's getting worse. Okay. After the 2016 election, it's gotten worse in a lot of different ways. Like people are getting fed up with this shit, right? And in retaliation, these people are going more and more extreme. Like, oh, you fascists, you Nazis, you homophobes, like things like that. They always constantly try and go after people who just don't agree with them. Like they desperately try to discredit them, delegitimize them, get them, deplatform them, do all this stuff. And like this takes like a coordinated effort, right? Like they have to demonize everyone outside of their community to make this happen. And it's making everyone outside of the communities, like the people who are against it, and especially the neutral people, really despise them and really hate them and really want nothing more to do with them. It just it's just such a ridiculous, like Reset Era, communities like that. I'm not sure who else is involved with this. Like, I don't know anything about Anime News Network. I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about what those people are like. I don't know like who they are. I don't know exactly what they do from a day-to-day basis. But like, even I, as a simple casual observer of them and what they've been doing, know they're shady as shit. I know they're manipulating information. I know they're trying to push an angle. I know they're trying to protect their friends in the industry. I know they're trying to get Vic fired for some like unscrupulous reason, right? Like, I know all of that. Like, I don't need to know all the details to like come to this conclusion. And here's the thing. Like, I went from gaming, right, something I'm really passionate about, right, to anime dubbing. Defending this guy that I don't even really know, right? Because I know what these people are like. I know how they behave. I know exactly what happened. And they're trying to like damage control it. They're trying to push back against it. But the simple fact of the matter is that people are waking up. People know how SJWs operate. They know why it's a deplorable like worldview. Why it's not something that can really help anyone. Why it's just something that people use to weaponize against. It's just like these really terrible people who want to come off like white knights, like they're virtuous or something, but they're not. They're just really scummy people, and I just hate it so much. I hate it. Yeah, let's try playing this Marzgurl. Let's snippet from the Marzgurl interview with Extra Mana while I get a drink of water.
I'm Extra Mana, and today I am with Marzgurl. And for those who don't know, Marzgurl, if you could introduce yourself.
Hi, yes, thanks for having me. Yeah, I'm known online as Marzgurl. Full name is Kaylin Saucedo. I probably have best been known for my time on Channel Awesome, which I was with for the last 9 years up until this past week. So yeah, producing videos for quite some time and all kinds of other stuff in between there.
So before we got...
So did I hear right? She left Channel Awesome after the change the channel thing. So yeah, she left because of the document releasing. She was one of those people. She actually stayed there longer than Lindsay did, the actual nostalgia chick. So
get into Channel Awesome, I wanted to talk a bit about your background. So I understand that you spent some time in Japan. What was your experience like there?
Yeah, I've been to Japan a small handful of times. I first went just on a vacation in 2006 while I was in college, and I had taken a semester or two of Japanese, and my Japanese wasn't very good at that time, but I totally fell in love with the country. It's just amazing out there. In 2008, I spent a semester attending KCP International Language Institute. So I studied up the language farther from the...
So she's like educated. She went to college. She like speaks Japanese. She's traveled, and yet I don't know. She does this stuff. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. Like, someone like this should be able to do a lot more than just produce shitty videos on YouTube, right? Like, I can make shitty videos on YouTube, right? Like, it's not that fucking hard.
And I took the Japanese language proficiency test, so I'm not like 100% proficient, but I do have a degree of proficiency, and I went back just several times. I last went back in 2015 and just spent a great time at the Tokyo Game Show. Ironically, we're talking right now during this year's Tokyo Game Show, but that's an overwhelming experience, but it's so cool and it's so fun, and I'm always looking for my next excuse to go back.
So what is it that you like about Japanese culture? What keeps drawing you back there?
Man, there's just so many different things. It's hard to pinpoint one specific
Let's see if I can find.
There is a...
Let's see. Is there anything you want to see specifically? Like, I don't see any timestamps here. Oh, she is married. Okay.
culture.
Yeah. Phew. Yeah, so from what I've seen, Marzgurl is just kind of a really boring person. Like she has some interesting things to say about like Channel Awesome and like the problems with Mike Michaud and stuff like that. But outside of that, like again, she's only really relevant because of that guy with the glasses. Should I go ahead and play the Nick Rekieta rant, like the really good one? That's like the best thing ever.
Hope if you're on the other side that you paid attention. It's not a game anymore. You came after a man's money. You came after a man's reputation. And you came after a man's life. Now it's time to put up or shut your stupid mouths. We would all love for you to put up a shred of proof. But that proof now, because you were so stupid in the beginning, because you were so
I love it so much
about destroying someone, now that proof is going to come with the legal process, and you're going to have to sit under oath and answer every single question. And oh my God, you better have good answers, or those pants are dropping and you're getting bent over, and you know it. And only Ron Toye will enjoy that, I'm sure. But you know it's coming. I've been telling you for weeks to lawyer up, you morons, and to shut your stupid mouths. You thought I was memeing, you thought I was kidding, but it's coming. It's coming. You can't do this. You can't just go out and lie about people and ruin lives behind your perceived anonymity and with all of the white knight credentials you can afford. You can't do this. We have a process for putting people out of work. We have a process for taking away their income. And if you don't follow the process, you better be ready for the gauntlet that's coming, because it is not pleasant.
Yeah. Nick Rekieta really knows his stuff. He knows exactly what he's talking about. Like there are so many internet armchair lawyers on Reset Era and stuff like that who desperately try to like pretend that like there was Vic clearly was fired for justifiable reasons, but that's not really the case. I highly recommend Nick Rekieta, by the way. A great content producer. Again, he goes with that. He follows that. My good YouTuber guidelines. He has a career outside of YouTube and just does this for fun. It's great.
Oh, believe all victims. Oh, it's sad that victims have to face their accusers. Oh, the trauma of having to answer questions about your victimhood. I'm sorry, you had the chance. You don't have to answer questions with your friends groups. You don't have to answer questions in therapy. You don't have to answer questions when personal healing is involved. And I will 100% afford you all of the deference. If you came to me and told me your Me Too story, I will listen, I will believe, and I will help counsel you. But the second you try and ruin someone's life, you don't get it anymore. Because
yeah, that's a really good point. I really want to talk about this because you see this all the time with Me Too, right? They always go on about how terrible it is they've been raped, about how horrible it is, how horrifying it is, how they've had so many rape experiences, and how horrible it is that this happened to them. And yet somehow they seem more interested in destroying their assaulters than like helping people who have gone through similar circumstances, or like making sure it doesn't happen again, or all that stuff, like personal healing. Like these people seem perfectly fine, and then somehow they've been me too. It doesn't make any like again. Again, this goes back into what I've been saying a lot about, like a lot of Me Too, a lot of these people, is that they don't seem to care about the actual victims. They just want to be able to have some sort of like go-to method to destroy anyone who inconveniences them. I'm not sure what Vic did. I'm not sure what he was like standing against. Like I imagine it was because of like his religious views, but that to me, that's my opinion on that, right? Like you need to help the victims of right. You need to like find a way to help them get through their personal problems and to help them like trust people again, and like there are all sorts of issues that can come from something like that, right? But that somehow never comes up when it comes to discussing these sort of things. Like it's always about like how we need to like punish anyone who dares hurt this woman's feet. Like no, that's not how it works.
Because now it doesn't affect you. You're ruining someone else. You better back it up. You better back it up. And I know, Ron Soye, you're out there sitting there circle jerking yourself all day, self-flagellating and self-fillating over the idea that there's some buried skeleton in the closet. Well, oh my goodness, that buried skeleton better be gleaming bone white. You fool.
You fool.
You sat there and disparaged a man for 4.5, 5 weeks now. You have just destroyed a reputation and a complete career. You better back it up, you little bitch. You better back it up. You can't cuck in the corner on this one, Ron. No one's going to answer the questions on stand for you while you sit in the corner watching. You have to be up there. You're going for the full reaming, you idiot, and you better be able to back it up. That mortgage company you work for, oh my God, I hope they're happy to have one of their representatives out publicly disparaging a person.
This is great. I love it so much. Like I don't think Chick Vic is really ready for like the sheer backlash they're gonna get. Like this is probably going to be the biggest social justice related case since the whole like Hulk Hogan thing. And Hulk Hogan won, right? He beat Gawker Media. He body slammed them. He like sent them packing, and this is going to be a repeat of that. Like another celebrity, a minor celebrity, is going up against this like SJW company, and like I think once these SJW practices are like scrutinized more among the public, like it's just going to become more and more apparent just why they don't work, why they're undesirable, and why the people that push for them are such disgusting human beings. We see this all the time. Again, once it starts infecting your community, something you're interested in, it's something you become, really dead set against. Like you want to protect what's important to you, and this is just not okay.
Because did you even think about the ramifications of that? Did you even for a second consider it when you were out there white knighting and gallivanting about with your brazen accusations? Did you even stop for a second and think,
yeah, what are the accusations exactly? Like, does he rape people? Does he just touch them inappropriately? Like, Vicky accusations. Mm. Yeah, yeah. So I think that's everything I wanted to talk about today. I talked a little bit about Kick Vic. I talked a lot about Marzgurl. I talked a little bit about that guy with the glasses. I even talked a little bit about DSP. So if any of the viewers have any questions for me before I sign off for the night, I think that'll be it. I'm ready to go back and play some Vidya. I'm just, man. I just posted my Guacamelee 2 video, my thoughts on that, and yeah, very disappointing. I was very underwhelmed by that one. Should have been way better, I think. Right now, I picked up Pokemon Let's Go, so I was playing that before I went live. I finished Guacamelee 2 when I got up, and I have to go out and pick up my copy of Yoshi's Crafted World, which is probably in my mailbox now, but I haven't checked since I started streaming. Really looking forward to that Yoshi game. I'll probably spend all night playing that. Yeah, I've heard the game has a really the thing everyone is bitching about is the soundtrack. So I'm not sure how true that is. But like I already have it on good faith that it's not as bad as New Island. So that's good enough for me, I think. Granted, that's not a very high bar to clear, but yeah, better than New Island. That's perfectly acceptable. Yeah, yeah. Like I don't remember being super fond of the Worldly World soundtrack anyway. So I don't know. Maybe I'll have to listen to it again because it's been a while since I played Woolly World. I have not actually played it since about a year after it came out. Like I played it with my brother once because like it's such a great two-player game, right? And I didn't play it. We didn't get through the entire thing, but we had a great time. Like it's a great two-player game. I hope Crafted World is just as good. Yeah, there are lots of games coming out in April. Like I got Cuphead on Switch. That's great. I just gotta wait till the 18th to play it. What else is coming out? Let's check my pre-order list. Yeah, I pre-order everything on Amazon. Oh yeah, I got Dead Cells finally. That's coming. I got some books. By the way, I was thinking of like doing live streams where I would read history books on air, and I was just wondering whether people would be interested in that because like I have a copy of the history of the Soviet Union on the way now, and I thought that would be interesting to like read on stream, uh, to give that a shot. I got Fight Club too. Debut arriving Sunday. Yeah, Saints Row the Third coming out May 10th. Berserk November 5th. Yeah, some Berserk Deluxe Edition is on the way. That'll be great. Wasteland 2, Bloodstained. Yeah, Wasteland 2 is coming physically April 16th. It's been out digitally for a while. Dragon Quest Builders 2, July 12th. I need to I need to finish the original before that comes out. Astral Chain, August 30th. I cannot wait for that. That's my most anticipated game right now. Really looking forward to that. Berserk, yeah, it's on the way. Crash, Team Racing, June. Dragon's Dogma, April 23rd. Mortal Kombat 11, April 23rd. Uh, yeah, Final Fantasy 10, 16th. Final Fantasy 12, the 30th. I have so many Final Fantasy games. Like, I bought all of them that they released on Switch. It's just so ridiculous. Yoshi should be in my mailbox right now. It says it's on, and I kind of want to go play it, but yeah, just a little bit longer, I think. Yeah, I'm still so angry at how bad Guacamelee 2 is. Well, it wasn't bad. That's not the word to use. Like it's like Bayonetta 2 in that regard. Like it's still fun to play to a certain extent, but like it's so frustrating and so underwhelming compared to like the original that like you just can't help but like shake your head and say like I would rather just go back and play the original. Like again, there's nothing the sequel does that the original doesn't do better. It's just so frustrating. I hate it so much. It's the worst. The worst. Let's see. Is there any other? Any other news to talk about? Let's see here. Gaming news. Yeah, I would not mind if the classic Silent Hill games were released for Switch. I think I would prefer that to the Resident Evil games actually, because I actually own all the Resident Evil games, but I don't own any. I don't own Silent Hills 2, 3, or 4. I've only played the original and only like halfway through because I didn't really care for it that much. Like I do want to play 2 specifically, and like 4 is the one I think I would actually like. So we're gonna have to see how that pans out if that ever happens. I'm sure they'll get re-released someday, right? I don't think it's going. I don't think Konami is just going to forever sit on those games. I think they will get re-released eventually, properly this time. We'll have to see. Like I've been told, Silent Hill 2 is like one of the best games ever made. Like for far too long to not play it. I don't think I will feel that way about it when I do get around to playing it, but I guess we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. Like people say a lot of stuff I don't really agree with when it comes to like Konami games, like how Metal Gear Solid 2 is one of the deepest games ever made. No. Okay, no. Metal Gear Solid 2 is like full of like padded out bullshit that like hampers the overall experience, right? Like it suffers because of its limitations, as opposed to something like Killer 7, which uses its limitations to like propel it to like being one of the most artistic games ever made. I will always argue that Killer 7 is a far superior political commentary over Metal Gear Solid 2 because like it covers so many different things, right? It covers like individual people, and it covers government, and it covers like philosophy and stuff like that. It does such a great job, having all these layers to it, right? Like to the point where every time I play it, like I discover something. Like I did not realize recently what the whole board game scene, like the mahjong scene, the mahjong scene is supposed to mean until like somebody explained it to me. Like apparently, if you understand mahjong, you'll understand that the guys ended up shooting each other because one of them made a mistake that like cost them the game. Like it's supposed to be like some subtle commentary on like the fragility of political talks, and that just kind of I don't know. I sort of got it, but sort of didn't really get it, But now I completely understand it, which is kind of interesting. Definitely want to understand that game thoroughly. Yeah, definitely one of the goals. One day is like talk about everything that game does. Maybe we'll wait until they re-release it, like they actually properly finish that game, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens there with that. Let's see. Oh yeah, Anthem. Yeah, Anthem. Oh man, Anthem. I just, I have not. It's incredible, right? How this game could come out, be such a disaster, and yet I feel like it's completely dropped off the radar, right? Like I see like Angry Joe talking about it sometimes. I saw like I think Young Ye made a video about it. But it feels like completely half-ass, you know? Like it feels they're not really railing on this game nearly enough, right? Like it feels like for the most part, people have like just forgotten that this game exists, right? That it's like, you know, the big new BioWare property, right? The big new BioWare release. And yet it's a complete fucking disaster, right? You know, about what I expected. And yet no one talks about it, like at all. Like it's so frustrating, right? When it comes to like a Nintendo and what they make, you know, no matter how good it is, you're always going to have these people shit on it no matter what. You have those people on 4chan who go on there and like shit post about like Breath of the Wild's visuals and like how it doesn't have enough dungeons and like how the combat is easy and stuff like that. You know, making up bullshit in order to shit on it, right? And then like stuff like Anthem comes out, and these same people are nowhere to be found. It's so frustrating. It's so like easy to see through. You know, I just hate it so much. And I don't get why Angry Joe, people like that, are like so fixated on like the PlayStation, Xbox, PC demographic. Like, why can you not just go over to Nintendo and play all the same games there? I just I don't get like play the better games. Play Octopath, play Mario Odyssey, play Breath of the Wild, play ARMS, play Splatoon 2. Like get hyped for Astral Chain. I have still never seen Angry Joe bring up Astral Chain, despite like all that dick sucking he did for like Devil May Cry 5. Just downright disgusting. I hate it so much. The worst. I hate it. I'm so sick of that. I'm sick of gaming YouTubers and their bullshit. Man, so bad. I don't know. Like nobody's getting hyped for like Mario Maker 2. I'm not seeing a lot of people talk about that. That's going to be like a Game of the Year contender. That's coming out in June. Like, what are people even excited for right now? I just don't see. I just don't know at all. Yeah. When the best game this year is probably like when the game that everyone is hyping up right now is like Devil May Cry 5. Something is wrong. Okay, that game is not worth getting hyped over. It just doesn't. Is it just me, or are people really disappointed with Kingdom Hearts 3? It's like the best selling game this year so far, but like I've heard nothing but like people bitch about it. I don't know. Like I think this is it for them. I think there's just too much continuity and too many issues with like the overall plot and everything in relation to that, and just it did not stick to its roots, and I just think it kind of dropped the ball and it kind of lost its appeal, and people are only just now starting to realize that. Um, Again, I gotta play Kingdom Hearts 2. I gotta do that. Like maybe I'll do that tonight. That'll be fun. All right, I think that's it. I think that's everything I had to say today. Interesting stream. We'll have to see what we talk about next time. Definitely have to see what's up. Talk about gaming stuff. Talk about the Pretendo Direct is probably coming up soon. We'll talk about the current state of Nintendo, and I'll see you then. I'll see you guys later. Bye.